Hi everybody, I'm Crazy Eddie, and this is Terra Firma Punk. And the first thing I'm doing today is expanding the smithy. Since last episode we did firmly establish that this place is not big enough. I want to have this wall at least 7 meters wide from this door, probably wider, just to give room for the charcoal. And I'd also like to have some room along there to build a charcoal pit recessed into the hill, and at least a couple of pit kilns at the end of the building still inside, so I don't have to come outside here to deal with that. Also, I finally did get around to digging a bismuth mine down here, and I'm also using the rocks here for building materials, partly to make bricks, but also because the smooth chalk makes a pretty nice building block as well. And here's our smithy expanded. Mostly. I've got the wall of charcoal, and I've got a couple of pit kilns, and here's a trick that someone else showed me once, or told me about anyway, for making a charcoal burning area. You can shave these blocks narrower to leave yourself a space that you can go through, and yet, according to the game, it's still sealed as far as the charcoal itself burning. I'll need to clear out a spot on top in which to throw the torch. And I should have braced this first. Okay, and that will keep the rest of it from falling down. While I build a bit of a roof here. Although it looks like I'm going to have to put some dirt on top just to keep this looking right outside. So yeah, I'll build myself a 5x5 charcoal burning space here and show you how it went. And there's our combination indoor woodshed and charcoal smeltery. However, I don't want to test it out right now because I've got plenty of charcoal. I do want to try out these pit kilns though. Okay, so I've made 6 clay molds. For ingots. And 1 vessel full of alloy mix. And this should work just the same as a pit kiln outside. Except, of course, that I don't have to go outside for it. Might be that they have to be open to the air. Nope. Works just fine. Hopefully it won't set the charcoal on fire. Now that's odd. This one didn't finish. I wonder why that is. Says it has -3 hours remaining. And our bismuth bronze did not melt either. Although these molds did. That is really weird. And it probably had to do with me sleeping through the burn. And I guess I will replace them and try again. And go. Okay, I'll see you guys in 8 hours. All right. We've got molds. And we have unmelted alloy, which means no alloy at all. And I don't know why that should be. That should be bismuthinite bronze now. Let's try cutting it in half and see what happens. But to do that, I'm going to need more straw. Because that straw that was in that was the last straw. The good news is, I can make more now. I just need a handstone to go in this quern. And this grain. Which will come in pretty handy since I'm out of food too. Let's see, first I need a knife to separate this grain from the straw. Like so. And now plenty of straw as well. And then this grain is ready to grind. I have selected a poor location for this. Let's put it over here. And then remove that. And then fill this space with a jack-o'-lantern. Alright, so we put that in there, and that in there, and then we crank the handle. And then we have grain. And we just take our grain and load up with a bucket of fresh water. And I've got dough. And still plenty of grain left. Which I think I shall save back in here just to see how it keeps. And a log. I figure it's probably a good idea not to keep partial stacks in my charcoal room, because that could really screw things up if I don't know which ones are not full when it comes time to make more charcoal. And in a moment, we'll have bread. At any rate, I have managed to run myself really low on tetrahedrite, so I'm going to have to go and mine some more. But first, I want to let the rain fill this barrel up, and I want to make sure that I have some food for the trip. I also think a good place to close out this episode would be my first use of the forge and the anvil for actually forging an item. Because I can see that my pickaxe is running low. And it would be a good idea for me to have a spare. So we'll load this up and light it. And see if we can't heat it up enough to work it. Right into the danger zone. And for plans, I have no plans. So I can't work bismuth bronze like that. Not on a copper anvil with a copper hammer, anyway. Alright, so we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm actually not sure if I can melt an ingot in a ceramic vessel or not. But I'm going to have to wait for it to cool anyway. Well, as it turns out, I can't put an ingot into these ceramic vessels. Probably just to keep me from trying to remelt them. So I suppose I'll have to live with that. But I can still cook molds. And I can even make myself a bronze hammer. Although I think I'll still need the bronze anvil in order to work bronze. But I can make a new copper shovel. So that's what I'm going to do. Just so I can do something on the anvil. Okay, we've got this ingot about as hot as we can safely get it. And we are ready to do the most frustrating thing to do. Work metal on an anvil. Now, as I said before, I want to make a shovel head. And the last 3 strokes can be anything, a hit, and a punch. So first thing we want to do is get this as close to this arrow as we can. Oops, I accidentally did it right. Well then, I guess I'm ready to go hunt for some copper. Tune in next episode, when I try to use an anvil on purpose. I'm kidding. I don't want to end this episode without forging something. So, even though I have a spare pick, I'm going to make another. Because you have skill levels in here. And the more you smith, the better you get at it. And you get bonuses to your tools with better skills. So, as long as you can get the minerals, then it's to your interest to forge everything you can. And it's okay if you waste a few ingots now and then. Okay, we've got it heated back up again. And pickaxe. And we get these to match again. Perfect match. And we have a draw, a bend, and a punch. So, draw, bend, punch, and from there looks like another bend, hit, punch. Alright, so bend, hit, punch, and then we're ready to draw, bend, and punch. And a perfect copper pickaxe head with a smithing bonus of 0.6%. So, there you have my basic method of using an anvil to forge a piece. I hope it's useful to you. Be sure to tune in next episode, and until then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.